NFL free agency has been going on this entire week. It's been massive. It's been fun. It's been entertaining.
Very.
So, what I want to ask, give me 2 winners and 2 losers. We're both going to do 2 and 2, or maybe we'll overlap because we'll have the same ones.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me some winners real quick.
Yeah. First off, for me, the Commanders.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I think, and I don't think they're done. I hope they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still Diggs, Cooper Kupp. There's still weapons. There's still players out there to get. You have, in my eyes, this could be a top 3 quarterback in the NFL after next year.
Yeah.
We could be talking about, like, it could be Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I think he is better than CJ. Like, as a rookie, better than CJ Stroud was.
Yeah.
I think his legs and it'll translate more to his second year. I don't think he'll have a second year slump. I think they've only improved the roster. You keep guys like Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Laramie Tunsil's on the market.
Yeah.
Like, all pro, like, great left tackle to protect him. And with guys like Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, you don't even have to have the most elite protection. Yeah. If you could give them any time, they'll buy the rest.
Absolutely.
I mean, so adding Deebo Samuel doesn't even have to be what he was with the 49ers. Yeah. Yes, people are saying he's old, he's not the same. He doesn't have to be the same. You already have Terry McLaurin for that exact reason, who is a number 1 in this league, elite receiver. Finally got his quarterback. I'll give you props. You've been saying he's been needing a quarterback for the longest, and he finally got it.
Yeah.
That's one of my winners. Do you want me to give you another?
No, let me respond to that real quick. Okay. I actually don't agree whatsoever with them being winners of this offseason. And I actually thought after the Deebo Samuel trade that I love that trade. Yeah. But they actually ended up losing De'Ami Brown, who was a big piece of where they were going to the Jaguars, and I was kind of befuddled at that. I was wondering why they let him. I would have rather honestly kept De'Ami Brown than pick up Deebo Samuel based off where the trajectory of both of their careers is going. And I think Deebo Samuel is a better player right now. And you know how I feel about Deebo. This dude is, if you get the ball in his hands, that one season he had where he led this team, let's stop it. I think that might be one of the most underrated NFL seasons we've ever seen in my life. But yeah, man, and they lost Jeremy Chin. I just think they haven't added any great pieces to the sections of their team that have needed to be added to. Yeah. And obviously Laramie Tunsil, great left tackle. He has been one of probably the best in pass pro the last couple of years. But this is also a guy who has led the league in penalties a great portion of time. And I don't know. I didn't consider Washington as one of my winners. I think they should have been more aggressive. And like you said, there's still more time to come. And I absolutely think they need to pick up another receiver. Yeah. Whether that is Stephon Diggs, I think Cooper Kupp would.
Juju, somebody.
I think Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs. That needs to be the level of receiver, because I don't think Deebo looks as good when you don't have a guy like De'Ami Brown who built rapport with. I just don't get why you trade. Maybe you have confidence.
I would love to see Deebo more in the backfield, more playoff time. I would like to see stuff like that.
That might have been what they wanted to do as well. Just keep that offense committee driven to where you maybe have 4 running backs that you could depend on. Yeah. But yeah, man, obviously there wasn't a great running back involved in free agency. Yeah. But I would have liked to. I still think they can do some more. Yeah. But we're just talking about free agency right now. I didn't think they were great. But yeah, you keep going on with yours.
Yeah. And my second winner is the New England Patriots.
Interesting.
Yeah. With Mike Vrabel, you get the upfront guys. Yeah. You get Joe Thuney. Yeah. You get Drew Dalman from arguably the best center in the league.
Absolutely.
I think that is very important for Drake May, who can definitely take a leap, in my personal opinion. I think he can take a bigger leap than kind of how we looked at Bryce Young in his first year. He was better than Bryce Young was, though. But also,
did you say Joe Thuney?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm talking about the Bears. I'm literally talking about the Bears right now, and I said the Patriots. I'm literally talking about the Bears. My fault.
Right,
I have the name wrong on here. My fault.
Well,
okay.
Chat, we're good. He was talking about the Bears. We're good.
Yeah. That is on me. Because it has I was looking at a list, and I screenshot a list of names they've signed. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll just edit that. We'll edit that out.
Okay. But the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
You add I said, you add Joe Thuney.
Yeah.
Drew Dalman. You get the upfront guys. You get Grady Jarrett.
Yeah.
They might have overpaid for some of these guys. But you get the upfront guys for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You lose Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
But
wait. Actually, wait. I didn't hear about that one. Where did he go?
Nah, he just.
Oh, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Okay.
It's not.
That's fine. I was just.
Yeah. So. I like what they did up front for Caleb Williams. I mean, he was actually running for his life. So and. I just. New coach as well. I think that is a great start to their offseason.
Yeah.
If you can sign one more receiver, I love going for the Boise State running back at number 10.
Hey, that's what I was thinking.
Ashton Genty.
I don't like DeAndre Swift as that number one back. I think that should be the pick. I mean, if you have built O-line and you want to be a dominant offense, Ben Johnson, how could you not be looking at a running back right now, honestly?
If you get Genty and Swift, you're talking about a running back.
Is Jeremiah Love coming out right this year?
Nah.
I honestly think there's a world where there's a couple running backs better than Genty.
No. There's a couple running backs that could end up being better than Genty, but I just think if you could get a good running back in the draft, get a committee.
Yeah.
Even get a solid receiver in free agency. This offense can look Detroit last year-esque.
Yeah,
honestly. I mean, Caleb.
Yes.
You can't tell me if Caleb Williams had the O-line and the pieces that Jared Goff has.
Yeah,
he could end up being better.
Absolutely.
I mean, he can definitely create something out of nothing. He just has to fix his accuracy issues and make the simple plays, make the easy throws sometimes. And I think there's no better guy than Ben Johnson. If Ben Johnson, the only question I have with Ben Johnson is not his schemes and his as an offensive mind. It's can he build some culture in Chicago?
Yes.
If Ben Johnson can instill culture into Chicago, they can compete with any team in this division. I mean, I don't like the losses of coaches and stuff that the Lions have had. So they might. It's crazy to say as early as it is for them players, but they might have missed their window.
Yeah.
At least this time around, 3-4 years, 2 years down, you can.
They might recover, but they definitely might have missed
for
it.
this upcoming year. I'm not high on the Lions because you didn't get
it the past two. That's how it works.
Yeah.
First off, I agree. I think that was a great pick. I think the Bears absolutely crushed this offseason under the Ben Johnson regime.
Yeah.
They worked on O-line, which was the biggest problem. Now, First off, Caleb, you have absolutely zero excuse to playing bad next year. You absolutely have to play good. And I would love them to go get Amarion Hampton from UNC because I think if you go Swift and Hampton, it delivers a bit of a Knuckles and Sonic type of running back to him.
1-2 punch.
So that's what I think Ben Johnson might be thinking about when evaluating these running backs. And like you said, this team is an absolute winner. I'm glad that they went O-line.
If you see a guy like that, you could trade back.
Exactly. You could trade back for guys like that and get more because they don't really have. I don't think they have too much draft compensation right now. I think they've traded a lot of it away.
Yeah.
So I think they should be going for running back like you said, and I think that was a great pick. With my first winner, Denver Broncos.
That defense.
And this is what I'll say about the Denver Broncos. Because, all right, we'll get to that later, actually. But they signed Talanoa Hufanga and they signed Dre Greenlaw. Who have both been injured, yes, but who have also been part of championship defenses and have been a part of a winning culture. And when they are at their best, especially Dre Greenlaw, we're talking about a top 5 linebacker in the league.
Yes.
And maybe a top 10 safety in the league in Hufanga.
Yes.
And
they still got Surtain.
And they still have Surtain, exactly. So this defense looks scary.
Where's their weakness in the defense?
They don't have one right now, especially with Sean Payton. And they were top 3 last year.
They don't have a weakness in their defense. And then it comes down to is Bo Nix the guy?
And that's where I was going. That's not even the part I'm excited about. But in certain ways, and you're higher on Bo Nix than I am, just based off talent. But I kind of do I rock with who Bo Nix is as a quarterback, as a face of the franchise. I get good vibes from him.
If you're a receiver, if you're a running back, I want to play with Bo Nix.
Absolutely, and but what I will say, he's an older quarterback coming out. He obviously has a little bit of a lower ceiling. Yeah, but I don't know. His arm looked strong. Last year.
No. His arm looked strong, and I get. Just off vibes, not play style. I get Deebo vibes.
Yes.
I don't know, just off vibes. I think players would love to play with Bo Nix. And he will achieve more than his talent will.
And yes, I completely agree with that. And man, Evan Ingram, a team that absolutely needed a tight end, probably more than any other team in the league. Getting Evan Ingram, who had dang near 1,000 yards a couple years ago, who still played good this past year, but was shut down, I believe. Man, I think they killed this offseason. And in a year where the Chiefs just got bum rushed in a Super Bowl, I think the Chiefs will be better next year. I think the Chiefs will still be great next year. But there is definitely a world where Denver, this could be the year for another team to win the division. And I think if that was to happen, it would be the Denver Broncos.
Well, yeah, in that division,
100%. And my next winner, New York Jets.
Okay.
The reason I like the moves they made is because they won't be trapped by having a prodigy of a quarterback that's supposed to come in and absolutely deliver. Aaron Rodgers, he was supposed to deliver. They thought they had a guy. They didn't. Zach Wilson, he rolled out. He went to the combine, did his pro day, took that snap, did a play action rollout, threw that ball 80 yards down the field on a post route, got drafted. They thought he was the guy. He wasn't the guy. Now they have a guy that's probably the expectations aren't as high as they were. He's a guy that's familiar with Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields. He's a guy that has proven that he can win in this league if appropriately coached. Aaron Glenn is a great defensive hire. Yeah. They've picked up the center that was actually played with Justin Fields at Ohio State, which is also interesting, in Josh Myers. So I don't know, man. They picked up Andre Sisco from the Jaguars, who had a pretty good season last year as a safety. And they picked up Brandon Stevens, who was a corner, who elevated his play with the Ravens as the Ravens defense elevated in a new regime under Zach Orr last year. So I do believe that this Jets team might be a little slept on going into next year based on the new regime and based on what this team is built on at this certain point. Because this is not a bad roster.
No, and I think, like, culture wins in this league. And I like the move to say no to Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's a new era. Like, it gives me vibes of how Dan Campbell, like, brought a new culture, got all the bad out of the organization. Aaron Glenn's like, nah, like, that's not. Aaron Rodgers is the worst quarterback you want to rebuild your franchise around. Like, it sounds good on paper, but
at the end of the day, you got to put in a little bit of pain. Yeah. And with Aaron Rodgers, it's like you just expected a guy to lift. Aaron Rodgers is not the force multiplier that you want him to be, while also being a distraction just based off the entity, the football entity that he is. Yeah. So, I can agree with you.
Do you want me to go with my losers?
Yeah, go ahead. Go with losers.
Okay, so losers. For me, Seattle Seahawks. Okay. You released Lockett. Yeah. You got rid of Metcalf, and you got rid of Geno Smith. I'm not the biggest Geno Smith fan. I don't know how far you can go with him, but I didn't think it was time to get off of him. Yeah. I think it was time you let go your receiving core. I mean, Jackson Smith, like, he's good, but I think he's the number one in this league as well. I think he's going to be really good. But you were a really good team last year. In my personal opinion, I don't know. I just think that with Sam Darnold, I think we're about to see this year, especially if J.J. McCarthy starts for the Vikings, which is looking like he will, that elite roster that got even better, that elite roster with Justin Jefferson, someone who could end up being one of the greatest receivers of all time, probably will be, Jordan Addison, like
Aaron Jones,
like the weapons that they have, you're going to start to see that you could almost plug and play most quarterbacks into the Viking system. And we saw that how Sam looked in the playoffs. I genuinely think that Sam could just, like, he could literally not be better than Geno Smith was this past year. Geno Smith, on, like, rating-wise, he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's definitely top 15 to me. Yeah. And ratings-wise, he played like a top 10 quarterback statistically this year. I just think that, I don't know how much more Sam does for you with worse weapons than Geno just had, because that's a factor as well.
So my thing is, I don't think this was a risky move. I didn't think Seattle doing that was a risky move. No. So I don't think it was. I don't think they're necessarily losers, because I think this is exactly where they would have been anyway, because they literally signed a white ginger Geno Smith. But like, I don't know, man. They signed DeMarcus Lawrence. They picked up MVS, who had a great year at the end of the year last year at the receiver position. So, I'm not going to lie. I completely agree with you. Because, like you said, did you really change? You literally signed a quarterback that was the same as your other quarterback. Yeah. And you traded a great weapon, 2 great weapons, or released 2 weapons, got rid of 2 weapons. And that have been... You got MVS back. Like there's trade-offs, and obviously I don't hate it.
And my point is, it's very lateral.
Yeah, it's a lateral move because with the head coach, maybe he does think he can do something, especially with a young Sam Darnold is younger than Geno Smith. But I don't know, man. I agree with the way you just put that. It is a very lateral move. Yeah, but go ahead.
And my second loser, once again, very lateral moves and not taking the leap that I thought was a no-brainer. The Chargers.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, we all right. That was mine too. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do one after this.
I'll start it, and you can just build off of it, and then you can finish with your last loser.
Yeah.
But Najee Harris doesn't move me.
Lateral move. That's literally Jake. I would say J.K. Dobbins looked better as a running back than Najee Harris did last year. But continue.
Like that's not taking you over the hump. The type of running back, and once again, there's not a lot in free agency.
No.
But which is why maybe you should have gone after a receiver. And you still can. But if you don't end up with a receiver, then who's your number 1 next year?
Ladd McConkey. Mike Williams, who they just signed yesterday.
You're...
And let me hop in right there. I understand that we love Jim Harbaugh and the culture he builds, but I feel like this offseason that they just had took it a little bit too far. They signed Benjamin St. Juste, who was the worst cornerback in football last year, no doubt about it. I mean, that dude was baked goods every time he stepped on the field. They signed 2 D tackles who I forgot what their names were, but they're not really of name. They're probably good players, but 2 D tackles when the defense was not the problem. The defense was not the problem. They signed another corner, Dante Jackson, he's a serviceable guy.
Yeah.
But he's not Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, we're not taking you over the hump with these moves.
He's not better than Asante Samuel Jr., who you already have. So you get Najee Harris and you get Mike Williams. Literally a lateral move because you already had Mike Williams, who is now older and more injury prone.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's
time for Justin Herbert to get a receiver, dude. Yeah. There's no more excuse. If the team isn't going to build around him, we have no reason to have faith in the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I absolutely despise what they did. If they don't pick up a receiver
in the draft,
or at least Stephon Diggs, then what are we doing?
Unless you're just trying to get worse and worse so you get Jeremiah Smith.
The time to strike is now.
Yeah.
I feel like they were extremely lazy.
The time to strike in the league is definitely now. I mean, the Chiefs are, you just lost their best O-lineman. Their O-line literally probably is the reason. I mean, it literally looked like the Chiefs' first loss in the Super Bowl-esque when they played the Eagles. It doesn't. Mahomes is running for his life. I can't sit here and blame Mahomes for the Super Bowl loss.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The time to strike is now, and they are making lateral moves, not really doing anything. So
you hate to see it. As a team we thought was on a great trajectory, and we talked about T. Higgins going there in the offseason, and they didn't even get anything close to T. Higgins. They might have got worse on that side of the ball, and they still haven't picked up any tight end either. So it looks bad. Hopefully they get maybe a T.J. Warren or Colston Loveland in the draft, but if they don't do that, man, I have no faith in that squad to do anything more than they did last year.
No.
And then I wanted to add in the Cowboys. We know they're losers. First off, they're losers in every aspect.
Are trying to run it back,
but with you get rid of Rico Dowdle to sign Javonte Williams. If that's not a lateral move, I don't know what it is. That actually might be a decrease without Rico Dowdle, AC Reynolds legend, if you didn't know that, I guess, which is crazy. He actually started coming on late last year. And you let go of him to let go of an injury-prone guy. You weren't a participant in free agent this year, other than that guy. And you still have not paid Micah Parsons or traded him or did anything.
The price is going up.
So the price is only going up. Myles Garrett just got paid 40 M's annually as a DN to go sack your favorite quarterback and only win 2 games. So for your Dallas Cowboys, what do you think the price is going to be for Micah Parsons? It's at least, you got to pay him $42 a year now. At least. So, Dallas. I just want to give y'all a shout out. You know, I love shouting out Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas. It's almost like Jerry Jones saw the squad. He saw the record, the success, and he was like, yeah, like this is the team we're bringing.
Yeah,
we're bringing this team back. We're bringing this team back, and yeah, Jerry Jones is. There's like I just don't see him.
Yeah,
winning anything with his style of. He's the GM. He's all like he's gonna have to give it up.
Yeah.
For them to be any type of successful. I mean, there's nothing in the past 5 to 10 years that shows you like, oh yeah, Jerry Jones is they're about Howie Roseman type of.
They're doing something with this squad right here.
They're not. I mean, there was times in the, like 2-3 years ago where you look at Dallas teams like, okay, they do have the most talent in the league, but then we question their coach. So they just can't piece together.
No,
the coach, the roster, the culture. They just can't piece it all together. Yeah. And I don't see them doing it anytime soon. No, and their timeline of success, literally, like I don't know when they'll be successful. They're kind of in a hole.
Yeah.
But,